Have you ever truly considered how hard it is to really understand another human being? Every day, we cross paths with people who appear confident, kind, even flawless. But how much of that is real, and how much is just a well-polished mask? A world obsessed with appearances, authenticity is rare. Many hide behind smiles, charm, and smooth talk, carefully concealing who they really are. But here's the truth. You don't need a psychology degree to see through the facade. There are two subtle but incredibly powerful signs that expose someone's true character. No complex theories, no guesswork, just quiet, everyday behaviors that reveal everything if you know what to look for. Imagine being able to spot the truth behind someone's words, to see who they really are, not by what they say, but by how they act. When there's nothing to gain, mastering this skill will transform how you see others and how you choose who gets access to your life. In this video, we'll break down the two behaviors that say more than hours of conversation ever could. Once you recognize them, you'll never see people the same way again, and you might even learn something unexpected about yourself. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe for more content on deep self-awareness, personal transformation, and spiritual growth. Let's begin. How someone treats people who can't offer them anything. One of the most telling ways to understand a person's true character is to observe how they treat those who hold no power, offer no benefits, and can do nothing to elevate their status. The waiter, the janitor, the cleaner, the elderly woman walking slowly in front of them. These are the people society often overlooks. But how someone interacts with them reveals everything. You see, when there's nothing to gain, there's no incentive to fake kindness. That's when a person's true nature slips through the cracks. Do they still say, "Thank you"? Do they show patience or at least basic courtesy? Or do they talk down, ignore, or outright disrespect those they deem beneath them? A person who only shows kindness to their boss, their friends, or someone they're trying to impress isn't kind. They're calculated. True kindness is not strategic. It's not reserved for moments that bring something in return. It's consistent, quiet, and most often shown in how we treat the people we think no one is watching us interact with. Psychologists call this a character test, and it's incredibly accurate. Why? Because these moments are unguarded. There's no motive, no reward, just pure, unfiltered behavior. And in that space, the truth is revealed. Watch closely. How does someone talk to the store clerk? Do they acknowledge the person cleaning up the mess? Are they patient with the elderly or annoyed and dismissive? These small, seemingly insignificant moments are windows into someone's soul, but this isn't just about observing others. It's also a mirror for yourself. Ask yourself, do I change based on who I'm around? Do I show the same level of respect to a CEO as I do to someone cleaning the floors? Do I only engage when there's something in it for me? Self-awareness starts with honesty, and character is built in the unnoticed moments. In the end, how someone treats the invisible people around them says more than any motivational speech or polished image ever could, because genuine kindness doesn't need a spotlight. It shows up when no one's watching, and it's in those moments that strength, humility, and integrity are truly revealed. The power of keeping your word, the second sign of true character, might seem simple on the surface, but it's one of the most powerful indicators of integrity. Do they keep their word? In a world full of broken promises, ghosted conversations, and empty commitments, following through has become rare, but incredibly valuable, because keeping your word isn't just a social courtesy, it's a reflection of your values, your discipline, and your respect for others. When someone makes a promise, big or small, and follows through, they send a message. You matter. Your time matters. I value this connection enough to show up. Whether it's calling when they say they will, showing up on time, or following through on a favor, they prove they can be trusted. That's not just admirable, it's rare. On the other hand, broken promises quietly erode trust. not always through grand betrayals, but through the small letdowns. The friend who always cancels last minute, the coworker who says, "I've got your back," but disappears when things get hard. The partner who makes promises they never intend to keep. These moments may seem minor, but they add up. They send a different message. You're not important enough for me to follow through. Psychologists like Albert Bandura have long emphasized that behavior shapes identity, not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. When you keep your word, you reinforce a belief that you are disciplined, dependable, and grounded. When you don't, you begin to chip away at your own self-trust. Now, this doesn't mean perfection. Life happens. Things come up. But here's where true character steps in. How does someone respond when they can't follow through? Do they acknowledge it, apologize, take accountability, or do they brush it off, make excuses, or pretend the promise never existed? As Hanawis Brown puts it, vulnerability and responsibility are signs of emotional strength. Blame shifting, denial, or minimizing mistakes aren't signs of confidence. They're signs of emotional immaturity. Another red flag to watch for? Chronic overpromisers. These are the people who always have big plans, grand gestures, and endless ideas, but rarely deliver. They may not mean harm, but they lack self-awareness, discipline, or accountability. Real trust is built through small, consistent actions. A trustworthy person doesn't need to say much. They just quietly follow through, again and again. And once again, this isn't just about others. It's a mirror. Ask yourself, do I keep the promises I make to myself? Do I stick to that new habit, that goal I set, that change I committed to? Because personal integrity isn't just about how you treat others, it's about how you treat you. Keeping your word to yourself builds self-trust. And when you trust yourself, you move through life with quiet confidence and clarity. In the end, being dependable doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present, being intentional, and being honest, especially when it's inconvenient. Because anyone can follow through when it's easy, but character is revealed when it's hard. So remember, true strength isn't loud. It's consistent, and the most powerful promise you can ever keep is the one you make to yourself. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who values character over charm, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content on inner growth, Stoic wisdom, and becoming your strongest self. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video.